When Sarah told me she was pregnant, I thought I'd never been happier. We'd been married for 4 years. Years that had started with laughter, dreams, and shared plans for the future, but had slowly turned into quiet dinners, late nights at her office, and an emptiness I couldn't explain. Still, I believed we could fix things. I believed in us. When she broke the news, I remember holding her hand so tightly it trembled between mine. Tears blurred my vision as I whispered, "We're going to be parents." She smiled, but something in that smile didn't reach her eyes. It felt practiced, like she was forcing herself to look happy. I ignored the unease twisting in my chest, convincing myself it was just my imagination. As the months passed, her belly grew, but so did the distance between us. She became secretive, guarding her phone, changing passwords, taking long calls in other rooms. Whenever I asked, she'd get defensive, blaming hormones or work stress. I wanted to believe her. God, I needed to believe her. But one night shattered everything. She was asleep beside me when her phone lit up on the nightstand. The preview of a message caught my eye. "Can't wait to meet our baby." My hands went cold. My pulse thundered in my ears. I unlocked her phone and scrolled through the messages, hoping, praying it was some kind of misunderstanding. But there it was. Dozens of texts from a man named Jason. Words of love, photos, plans, promises. He wasn't just a fling. He was the father of a child I thought was mine. The next morning, I confronted her. She broke instantly, sobbing, apologizing, saying it just happened, that she still loved me. That Jason meant nothing now, but her words barely reached me. My world had already collapsed. I left the house without a plan, drove until the roads turned empty, and ended up at the lake where we used to go when we were young and happy. I sat there all night, numb, staring at the reflection of the moon on the water. By sunrise, I knew I couldn't do it. I couldn't raise another man's child. Not after this kind of betrayal. When she gave birth, I wasn't there. I couldn't be. I'd already quit my job, sold my car, and disappeared. No goodbye, no forwarding address, just silence. I moved across the country, took a new name, and found work in a small coastal town at a mechanic shop. The ocean became my only companion. Every time I heard a baby cry, it tore through me like a blade. But time did what it always does. It dulled the pain. Slowly, I learned to live again. I found comfort in routine, in quiet mornings and long walks by the shore. I didn't date. I didn't explain my past. People in town knew me only as Ryan, the quiet mechanic who liked the sea. 5 years passed that way. Peaceful, empty, but peaceful. Then one rainy evening, my past knocked on my door. I had just closed the shop when I saw her standing in the rain, hair dripping, face pale, clutching an umbrella. For a heartbeat, I thought my mind was playing tricks on me. "Ryan," she said softly, her voice shaking. Hearing my real name after so long felt like a wound reopening. "How did you find me?" I asked. She hesitated, her eyes full of exhaustion. I never stopped looking. I didn't invite her in, but she kept talking. Between sobs, she told me everything. Jason had left her 2 years after the baby was born for another woman. She'd raised the boy alone, struggling and ashamed. Recently, she told her son about me, about the man who had once loved him before knowing the truth. Then she said the words that broke me all over again. "He's been asking about you," she whispered. "He thinks you're his dad." I couldn't speak. I just stared at her. This woman I had once loved more than life, now standing before me, drenched and trembling, haunted by her own choices. Part of me wanted to yell, to ask why she'd come after all these years. But another part deep down couldn't ignore the ache. The old familiar ache of love, loss, and what could have been. Why are you here, Sarah? I finally asked. She stepped closer, tears mingling with the rain. Because I can't change what I did. But he deserves to meet the man who loved him before he was even born. The rain poured harder, the sound filling the silence between us. My mind spun. I didn't know if I could handle seeing the boy. I didn't know if I could handle not seeing him. After a long pause, I said quietly, Tell him I said hi. She cried harder, whispering, he looks just like you when he smiles. Maybe she said it to comfort me. Maybe it was true. I didn't ask. For the first time in years, I let myself cry, too. Not out of pain, but out of release. That night, after she left, I found an old photo of us tucked away in a drawer. I stared at it for a long time, realizing something I hadn't before. Running away had healed me. But facing her, facing everything had finally freed me. I didn't know if I'd ever meet that boy. But for the first time, I wasn't afraid of what might happen next. I wasn't the broken man sitting by the lake anymore. I was someone new, someone ready to live.